I was going to say, it's hard to talk to you on any level without talking about NESCAD, you see.
Yeah.
And you were about one of the youngest presidents in an art institution at the time, and you maintained the position for quite some time, quite a few years. And I was wondering if you had some definite preconceived plan of starting something specific when you came here?
Yeah. No, everybody asks me that.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wonder why they ask me that. Like a plan. And so I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have a plan, like a preconceived plan. And I've been trying to think back, trying to think of what I did have, and I never thought of it.
The idea
I
that...
could never recall what I might have had. If it wasn't a plan, what was it?
Well, I think the idea that something so significant happened there that you almost think that there would have to be some kind of...
I think it's more maybe to look at it. I'm just kind of just conjecture. Maybe it would have a lot to do with the times, what was going on at that time, and there was a great deal of optimism, and that a lot of things could happen back in the late 60s. So I was kind of naive, I suppose, about... But, you know, they were revolutionary times, when you think about it, a lot of the things that went on then. So maybe, and there was a lot of kind of hope and promise for universities and for higher education. And that there was a call for something different. I mean, everybody was asking for relevancy in those times.
So a lot of things sound
something
like
meaningful. Yeah, that's what and like traditional ways of doing things were not in the minds of a lot of the young people.
Mm-hmm.
So it was part of the times, and I think that's what made it easier. And maybe the idea of mapping out some kind of a plan would not have been a good thing in those times.
So it evolved. It is, and did it surprise you when it started to?
No, really, I didn't. No, it didn't. It didn't. It seemed very natural. Like the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
So there weren't any. There weren't any surprises.
When you see things written about NESCAD historically, or certain documentations, do you feel that there's an informed sense of what happened there? Do you see that?
No. Well, I read this. It's always from a point of view. So it ain't how I would have written it, but I don't think I'd ever write it. So so you just take what you get, and if it's factually wrong, which it sometimes is, then you complain about that. But points of view are points of view.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't seem as, in some ways, as great as, or as important than it's being made out to now, but that always happens in history.
The event?
Yeah, at the time, I mean, a lot of the people that who are now famous were not famous then, so I was just dealing with people.
The idea of the bringing in the stars.
Yeah.
And if they look at even the word star is a little hard to deal with, but they weren't stars.
Yeah, they weren't then. No, that's true. I mean, that's the point I'm trying to make. So it was just kind of interesting at the time. And so you weren't dealing with you were dealing with the subject at hand, and not with some kind of artificial hype. In many cases. In some cases, of course, there was hype. Yeah.
I just want to read you a quote here that Diana Nemiroff referred to with your work. Obsessive attention to the physical process of making a work and the suppression of the artist's ego through the adoption of anonymous task-like procedures.
I don't know that quote.
Okay. Sort of describing a mid-70s or early work of yours. What do you think of a comment like that?
I don't think it's talking about my work. Where did the quote come from?
The 80-20 book.
Yeah. But she wasn't in the 80-20 book.
Her quote was in describing people's work.
Oh, people's work.
And
not
people's
my work.
work was your work. She made that direct comment towards yours.
I didn't
get a chance to read that.
I have to read that. Yeah, I'll have to go home and read that quote. 80-20. I don't have the book. All right. Tell me the quote again.
Okay. Obsessive, she used another sort of term, some other quote, but essentially this was her quote: obsessive attention to the physical process of making a work and the suppression of the artist's ego through the adoption of anonymous task-like procedures.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess that could be one way of looking at it. I don't... I'm just thinking of specific, like a specific work, task-like procedures. But that was, that was only some of my work, around 70, 75, and around there.
Mm-hmm.
So...
This was a description for that point, sort of early to mid-70s.
Yeah. So, that might be fair. Tell me it again.
No, Gary.
No, I'm really slow on things like this. Obsessive attention to the physical process of making a work, right? There's no question about that. And the suppression of the artist's ego. I mean, artist in capital, whatever that is, through the adoption of anonymous task-like procedure. In other words, it's like not making too much out of the, or not asking the viewer to make too much out of the hand of the artist.
So that would be
that's all right.
Your interpretation.
Yeah.
And now your work changed from that time period very much, do you feel?
Yeah, well, this kind of obsessive attention is, I don't get into that too much. I mean, that was focused there on just, I think, as she says it, but I don't get into that very much anymore. Although I still don't call on, I don't have any dependence on my marks,
Your marks?
Yeah, like artist marks, painter's marks. She's talking about that through the adoption of anonymous tasks, so that the act of making, the record of the act of making has no meaning to me anymore.
So it's changed, your work has changed.
Yeah. I mean, it still doesn't have any meaning to me. It didn't have any meaning to me then either. It should stay anonymous.
How is
Get
your
somebody
work
else to do it, fine.
So that would still be in place. Yeah,
but I mean, that's no different than what. Then what? I mean, that's no different than what. I mean, that's no different than what. Then what? I mean, that's no different than what. Then what? I mean, that's no different than what. 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 I mean, I would say a lot of artists do work today.
Somebody else could just as easily.
Yeah, there's no, it gets to show what you want, get somebody to do it. I mean, artists have been doing it for
Yeah.
years and years. It's no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But when these revival of expressionist painting, then to do it or not do it seems to make more, it has more importance.
Mm-hmm.
But since expressionist painting isn't around much anymore, then it's not much of it. This concern doesn't mean that much anymore.
The painting certainly seems to have a big platform again.
Well, I don't know. Not as much as it had, say, 3 or 4 years ago. 4 or 5 years ago. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear, like, the return of painting like you heard 10 years ago. Excuse me.
So you don't really, or the idea of implementing any personal concerns in your work?
Well, personal concerns are different than direct traces. So, yeah, all my work is personal concern.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.